What's good, Commanders fans, and happy Saturday. When I say a quick video, this probably will be a quick video. Here, shout out to Clelin Ferrell. The Commanders re-signed him for a 1-year deal. Now, Clelin, we know what he is. He was a starter for us last year, but he's really more of a rotational guy where he rotated with Dante. He rotated with Jalen Holmes. I feel like Javonte John Baptiste got in the mix a little bit here and there. And then Dorrance was on the other side. So, he's known as a run stopper. When he was with the Niners the year before, in 2023, he struggled. He had like a 47.6 PFF grade stopping run. But this past season, even though we were still bad against the run, he had a 63.8 run defense grade, which was 82nd out of 211 edge rushers. Pass rush grade 60.1, which was middle of the pack, and the 58.5 overall PFF grade, which was middle of the pack again, 123rd out of 211 edge rushers. He ended up with 3.5 sacks per ESPN, and then per PFF it says 3 sacks. He had 9 assists and 1 forced fumble against the Eagles. I believe that was against Kenny Pickett. 13 solo tackles on the season. How many pressures did he have? He had 16 pressures on the season, which was 104th out of 211. So he's basically he's 27 years old, 6'4", 265 pounds, former first round pick, was the 4th pick of the draft by the Raiders. So he is a leader. A lot of people talk about his leadership skills. The Niners talked about it. I think the Raiders pre-draft talked about his leadership skills, his culture, mindset, and they love his personality. So he's a good locker room guy, leader, and all that stuff. He checks all the boxes for a culture guy. Is he the most talented guy? He's going to get you 8, 7. Is he even going to get you 5 sacks in the season? His career high in sacks is 4.5. So we still lack a dominant pass rusher or a guy that we know that can just, go get pressure on the quarterback. We just don't have that, in my opinion, on the D-line. Like, Dorrance is fine. Wasn't very consistent last year, but right now he's like, if you were like, okay, who's capable of getting you consistent pressure on the quarterback like Trey Hendrickson that we wanted, or like Myles Garrett that we wanted? Of course, they're not going to be like those guys, but who on third down is going to go get the quarterback? I know Frankie can do it, but you got to scheme it up here and there with him. You don't have a guy that can just really line up one-on-one and be like, okay, yeah, he's going to get to the quarterback like that. In my opinion, I know the Patriots defenseman, I keep forgetting his name. He had 7.5 sacks in the season. But that's like the only critique that I really have. Like, if you had to look at some stuff, because I know I've been looking at the comments. I'm going to read some of the comments from my last video. And people are going in on Dante Fowler for the most part. But I know for the most part, when I look at comments, people are concerned about cornerback and defensive end. And I totally understand that. Now, defensive end, we probably will get that in the draft. James Pierce, do we take a chance on a guy that has character concerns from Tennessee? Is that something that we do? We know the previous regime did not do that. Does Adam Peters take a chance on a guy that has character concerns? Mike Green, does he fall to pick 29? Shamar Stewart, I know he hasn't shown production, but he's a superb athlete. Does he drop to 29? Probably not after the combine. Who are some edge rushers that we can get in the 2nd or 3rd round potentially? Do we even have our 3rd round pick? I gotta look at that and make sure we do. But I don't think we have a 3rd round pick. I gotta look at that too. But to get back to Clelin is a solid player. So the defensive end from the Patriots, let me look at this guy's name. Dietrich Wise is his name. Dietrich Wise is most likely going to start. Dorrance is going to be on the other side. The other guy that we just signed, let me look at the free agent signings so far. I apologize, guys. I apologize. I know we got Eddie Coleman at DT, but some of these guys, I have forgotten their names. I'm not gonna hold you. I apologize about that. Dietrich Wise, and then the other defensive end is Jacob Martin. Jacob Martin is the other defensive end. So they're all like rotational guys, like no dominant guys that we know they can get the quarterback. But to get back to Clelin, he started the season off pretty well, pretty hot as far as getting to the quarterback. He had a sack against the Buccaneers, a sack against the Giants, then didn't get any sacks. Then he had a half a sack against the Titans, and a sack against the Eagles. And I know you don't judge an edge rusher just off sacks. I get it. And then he had a run stuff against Dallas. He got a half a run stuff against Atlanta. He had 1 run stuff against Philly. He had a run stuff against Baltimore. So they count run stuffs on ESPN, stopping the run, which is a pretty cool stat. So did we improve on the defensive line and getting guys that are more known to stop the run? I think we potentially did. I can't say that's set in stone just yet. I got to see the product first before I jump to conclusions. My camera stops on me, guys. So yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens with this D line. We definitely got to draft a defensive end in the first round or second round. I feel like for sure we got to get a pass rusher. Trey Hendrickson, I think that's not going to happen anymore. And Miles Garrett already re-signed. Zadarius Smith, I believe, is still a free agent. All right, John, my camera keeps messing up for whatever reason. Yeah, Clelin Ferrell, not too much to say. Just a good rotational backup, professional, come in, great culture. Adam Peters signing from last year, familiarity with the 49ers. They brought him back. I don't mind it. It's probably going to be a relatively cheap deal here. And yeah, he's gonna be a good backup. And we'll see who we draft at the edge rusher spot. Now, yesterday, shout out to my Terps. They got the win. Crab 5, getting it done. They should win today again against Michigan. And then they should go to the Big Ten Championship and play against Michigan. I hate Michigan. I really dislike Tom Izzo. I hate the guy who made that phony half-court shot who looks like a fake Cassius Winston. I hate Michigan State. I hate East Lansing. But shout out to Max Johnson. But I hate Michigan State for sure. All right. So yeah, Redskins for life, 21 D2O says Fowler was not coming back even if he wanted to. The way he and M'd, B and moaned about the offer we gave him as good as gone. AP wasn't having any of that good riddance. You see him with the Cowboys now and how the dysfunctional the Cowboys are, and they have Twitter fingers, so I guess he joined back with the team that he fits in with the Twitter fingers. Nurses, Garabed781 says, when Fowler tweeted that garbage, I thought to myself, his cowboy is showing. Didn't realize I was 100% correct, and you're right on that. A lot of good comments about Herbig. Everybody likes the Nate Herbig signing, and I like the Nate Herbig signing. Like I do feel like there's gonna be a few games where he does have to come in and start and play a lot, just like how Michael Dieter had to play. Like of course I want Tyler Biadasz to be healthy all 17 games, and including the playoffs, the next hopefully 21 games that we play next year, or even with the bye would be 20, making a Super Bowl. But you just have to have, I know people hate the word positional flex, or the two words position flex, but you have to have that positional flex and that good depth as a backup, especially with Cosme being out. We'll see if Nate Herbig gets some snaps here and there too in the game. Indian Lake, Ohio 1050 says, Herbig was on my wish list. I'm stoked. And Nasty Nate is what they call him. And he was wearing that ski mask. I like the way he plays in the run game. We got to get better blocking in the run game, because yes, we blame B-Rob a lot, myself included, but the run game blocking needed to improve, and I think it did for sure with bringing in Nate Herbig as a backup. Rello94 says, I feel like we can find another Dante Fowler. It's possible. Nobody thought Dante Fowler was going to have 10.5 sacks. Who knows? Dietrich Wise may come in and have 10.5 sacks. The backup guy may come in and have like 8 sacks. Jacob Martin may come in and have like 8 sacks. You just never know. People come here and improve. That's the thing that I'm going to hang my hat on, is that guys come in here and improve. I talked about Austin Eckler, Zach Ertz, Bobby Wagner, Frankie Louvu. Even Olamide Zaccheaus improved. De'Ami Brown had the best year of his career and got paid. Like a lot of people came here last year and got paid, and coaches got interviews. David Blau, Anthony Lynn, Tavita Pritchard, Joe Witt Jr., Brian Johnson. Like a lot of people got paid and a lot of people got interviews. So the guys that we're bringing in, they're coming into our culture, and let's see if they can embrace the culture and improve and get better like guys did last year. So that's what I'm going to hang my hat on for sure with a couple of these signings. Challenge, except it says Herbig is an animal. I love this signing. Jermaine Sturge says, listen here, Fowler is a major distraction to our team. Buy Fowler, take the drama somewhere else. Commanders unstoppable. So yeah, a lot of that. And C and Davey 6049, it says Nate Herbig should be named Nate He Big. The man is listed at 333 pounds and can play center. Looking at pictures of him, he figuratively looks like he's built of a brick wall placed upon 2 oak trees. I could easily see him subbing in on any tush push plays, as long as it isn't outlaw this season. We're not going to do the tush push with Jaden. He's just not that. He doesn't have that frame. He's a lean guy. Jalen Hurts is a big guy. And he squats so much. But Jaden, he doesn't need to do a tush push. But if we wanted to do it, sure, go ahead and try it. But, we what we're doing for it now. We were the best 4th down team last year. But thank you guys for your comments. Thank you, SSE and Avery, as well, talking about Nate He Big or Nate Herbig and all the other people who commented. I'm going to try to do this because I haven't been able to get to comments. So I'm going to just try to read comments and respond to comments at the end of videos, especially like a Clelin Ferrell video where there's just not much going on. All right, guys. Commanders, have a great weekend. Go Terps. Peace.